So what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel once again. You know I appreciate having you here. Stick around for today's video where an Englishman gets to talk about the weather. Well, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. And I know you're thinking, shock. This is a shock, this is a revelation. An English guy talking about the weather? Never. When did this start happening? When did this trend occur? Well, to be honest, it's been going on forever. For eternity. Since the caveman days. Since they couldn't even speak. They would just go to each other, ugh, ugh, ugh. Which meant, look how shit the weather is today. Basically, we are obsessed with the weather, and there's a simple reason for that, and it's not because we have extreme weather. We don't have extreme weather. I mean, this here, I'm surprised we haven't got a flood warning, to be honest. There probably is a flood warning somewhere in the land. With rain like this, they're building arks, people are gathering, the animals are getting herded up 2 by 2. You can't herd animals 2 by 2. What am I talking about? It's not a herd. How can you herd 2 by 2? That's a couple, not a herd. Shut the f up, fish. Yeah, there's probably a panic going on, and as soon as this dries up, maybe in a couple of hours, then there'll be a drought warning. People will be like, oh my god, there's no water in the world, we're all gonna die. They'll be licking the sweat off each other's foreheads just to survive. They'll be moving into their basement, stocking the basement up with beans and water, just in case the drought lasts for more than 3 hours. And this is what I'm talking about. We're so over dramatic with the weather. Yeah, our weather, you can describe it as meh. That's it. It's not extreme, it's just meh. And double that up with being a motorcyclist, and then we take it to the next level. We have even more right to complain about it. And we don't even just moan about the rain. As soon as it's hot, we moan about that. Oh, it's too hot, it's too hot, I can't breathe, I'm gonna die, it's too hot. And that's probably at about 18 degrees. It's too hot, it's 18 degrees, my face is gonna melt. It's not gonna melt. It's not extreme, that's not that hot. Anything below, I'm gonna say 22, anything below is not hot. Anything above that, to say 27 is pleasant. Above 27, granted, I will give you that's warm or hot. But the main problem we have is inconsistency. We don't know what to do. We have a panic. Every day is a dilemma. I mean, if you look at me now, right? Look what I'm wearing. These are my winter gloves, my winter jacket with the lining in, winter waterproof trousers, and the heated grips are on. Now, look at this. And there's nothing better than riding a bike on a day like this. I've taken the lining out of my jacket. I'm just fully meshed up. I'm basically wearing what I wear when I'm in California. That's how nice a day it is. It's saying 25 on my clocks here, and it's only 11:15 in the morning. That was less than a week ago. We have dropped 22 degrees in a week and a half. And we're not going towards winter, we're coming towards summer. So surely it should go up, not down. And one of the funny things is, whenever we have a hot spell that is not predicted, as in not expected, it's quite early in the year, they compare it to everywhere else in the world. We're hotter than Barcelona, we're warmer than Rome, for one day of the year. But for the other 360 odd days of the year, they're much warmer than us. So I know where I'd rather be. But back to the dilemma. The problem is, we got to dress for the weather. And when you have to dress for the weather, and it changes seasonally in a day, we can have all 4 seasons just in one day. You don't know what to wear. You've got to load up the bike. You've got to have luggage on your bike just to carry the stuff. Because if I was wearing all this gear last week when it was 27 degrees, I would have died. I would have overheated. No, I wouldn't. I would have got very sweaty, basically. I could take the lining out, but I'd have still been quite warm. So what did I do? I took the lining out of my summer jacket, but I didn't leave it at home. I put it in the back box just in case, because even though the weather said it was going to be really warm, I still wasn't confident enough to leave the thermal lining at home. I even brought my intermediate gloves with me last week, because again, I wasn't 100% confident that my hands weren't going to get cold. So now in my garage, basically, I've got my summer setup just hanging up. I've got my winter setup, which I've got on now, and I've kind of got a mix and match representation of the two for intermediate weather. When it's like this, it's okay. I can dress for this. It's cold and it's wet, so waterproofs and thermals, bang, it's not going to get any hotter today. Great, I'm perfectly suited to this. But it's when it's warm, when it starts to get warm, you don't know. You go out and it's warm, and then by the time you go home, it's bloody cold. It's craziness. We don't know what to do. It's so confusing. This is why there's a lot of crazy people in the UK. You might think it's inbreeding, but it's not. not. It's just the weather is driving us crazy. But hopefully it will dry up soon. The weather will, I mean, it's really windy today as well, which I didn't expect. I expected the cold and the rain, but I didn't read the bit about the wind. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a hurricane. I wouldn't swap it for hurricane season or tornado valley. It's slightly breezy. And I think if you took away our weather, we have consistent season, then no one would talk to each other. We'd have nothing to talk about on social media. The papers would have nothing to print. So there you go. That's a little insight into why the English are obsessed by the weather and moaning about it. It's because it doesn't play along. It never plays ball. You could look at the weather for tomorrow and it'd say it'll be 20 degrees and it'll be sunny, and you think, great. You get up in the morning, open the curtains, it's snowing. Anyway, on that note, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video, make sure you got your notifications turned on, because if you do not, I'm going to send the Ark round to your house and we're not going to pick you up. We're going to let you drown in this mad weather we're having right now. So that just leaves me to say, I'm going to bid you farewell. You know I love you all. Stay safe. Fish out.
Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead, get gone. Get all your bags, get out my house. I don't want your stuff around. I never did you wrong, but you did me wrong. So go ahead and get